Hello students, this video is the 7th video for the chapter Final Accounts of Companies. If you want to understand the contents of this video better, kindly watch my previous 6 videos for this chapter. I'll be giving you the link in the description. In those videos, I have very clearly explained everything step by step. Many students were asking me to post some more videos for this chapter. So as per their requirement, I have decided to post some more videos for the chapter Final Accounts. In this particular video, I will be working out a problem involving the preparation of the balance sheet. Let me proceed further now.
First, I will read the problem. The following balances have been extracted from the books of Rajesh Limited as on 31st March 2023. Share capital, equity shares of rupees 10 each fully paid, 10 lakhs. Securities premium, 1 lakh. 12% debentures, 4 lakh. Trade payables, 2 lakh. Proposed dividend, 50,000. Debit in statement of profit and loss, 30,000. Investment in government bonds, 4 lakh. Work in progress, 1 lakh. Patents, 40,000. Unclaimed dividend, 10,000. Trade receivables, 20,000. Public deposits, 50,000. Plant and equipments, 6 lakhs. Furniture and fixtures, 1 lakh. Office equipment, 2 lakhs. Stock in trade, 2,60,000. Stores and spares, 40,000. Expenses on issue of debentures, 20,000. Prepare a balance sheet of the company as per Schedule 3, Part 1 of the Companies Act 2013. So this is what is the problem we have. So you are given a problem here, and from the information available, you are being asked to prepare the balance sheet as per the revised format, that is as per Schedule 3, Part 1 of the Companies Act 2013. So according to this particular format, we have to prepare the balance sheet in a statement form consisting of a number of notes to accounts. So let us proceed with the solution for this problem now. As I used to tell you always, in this particular chapter, to do the answer correctly, you have to be very thorough with the format. Okay, so you should know what are the various items which will appear in the balance sheet and which item will come under which heading. In order to understand this format better, I would like to suggest you to refer to my video Final Accounts Part 3. In that video, I have very clearly explained the contents of the balance sheet. Before we proceed with the main balance sheet, we have to prepare the notes to accounts. Okay, so before entering the amounts in the main balance sheet, we have to prepare the notes to accounts, and these notes will give details of the various items entered in the balance sheet. So let us now start with the notes. Okay, the notes forming part of the balance sheet. So first we have note 1. Note 1 is for share capital. So if you have a look at the problem, regarding share capital, we are given share capital. This is the first item, the very first item we are having. Share capital, equity shares of rupees 10 each, fully paid 10 lakhs. This actually means we have 1 lakh equity shares of rupees 10 each. So this will come under note 1. So under note 1 share capital, enter 1 lakh equity shares, 1 lakh equity shares of rupees 10 each, which will give you 10 lakhs. Okay. So this is what we'll have under note 1. The next note we have is note 2. Note 2 is actually for reserves and surplus. So under note 2 reserves and surplus, usually we'll have securities premium. So let us see whether we have securities premium in this particular problem. Of course, yes, we have securities premium, and you are given securities premium as rupees 1 lakh. So this will come under note 2, reserves and surplus, securities premium 1 lakh. Okay. And in this particular problem, we have an item called as expenses on issue of debentures. This item is given as a last item in the problem. Expenses on issue of debentures. This will have to be adjusted from securities premium. So this has to be deducted from securities premium. So out of 1 lakh securities premium, we'll be deducting the expenses on issue of debentures, that is 20,000. So 1 lakh less 20,000, we'll be having 80,000 now. So in case if you don't have this item in the problem, we will not be entering this. Since we have this item, we are deducting it from securities premium. And then we have to see whether we have any profit and loss account balance. As you all know, before preparing the balance sheet, we'll be preparing a statement called a statement of profit and loss, from which we'll find out the profit or loss of the company. Okay. In case we have credit balance in the statement of profit and loss, that will be added because it's a gain, it is a profit. But if you have a debit balance in the statement of profit and loss, that has to be deducted. As far as this particular problem is concerned, we have debit. We have debit in the P&L, debit in the statement of profit and loss. So since we have debit in the statement of profit and loss, this amount 30,000, this has to be deducted from the second note, which is coming under reserves and surplus. Second note is reserves and surplus. So from that you have to deduct the debit in statement of profit and loss. How much is that? It is given as 50,000. So 80,000, I'm sorry, it is given as 30,000. So 80,000 less 30,000 will give us 50,000. So this is what is note 2. Now let us proceed with note 3. Note 3 is for long-term borrowings. So you should know what is actually long-term borrowings. So if the loan is repayable by the company after a period of 1 year, that is after a period of 12 months from the date of the balance sheet, that is called as long-term borrowings. Usually in most of the problems, you'll be having the item debentures, and debentures will come under long-term borrowings. So let us have a look at the problem now. We are given 12% debentures. So 12% debentures is given to us as 4 lakhs. So this will come under long-term borrowings. So under long-term borrowings, we have entered 12% debentures. So debentures will be there in most of the problems, and that will come under which heading? It will come under the heading long-term borrowings. Then there is one more item in this particular problem, which is public deposit. Okay, this public deposit again is a kind of loan which is repayable after 12 months, and so this will also come under the heading long-term borrowing. So public deposit is 50,000. So when you add these two amounts together, you'll be getting 4,50,000, which is note 3. Then note 4 is for trade payables. In this particular problem, you are given trade payables as 2 lakhs. Okay, so 2 lakhs will come under trade payables. This is note 4. Then the next note we are going to prepare is for other current liabilities. So under other current liabilities, all those liabilities which do not come under short-term borrowings and trade payables will come. So, what will come under other current liabilities? All those liabilities which will not come under short-term borrowings and trade payables will come. In this particular problem, we don't have short-term borrowings. In case if you have short-term borrowings, you would have entered it here. But in this particular problem, we don't have short-term borrowing, so we are not entering it. Okay, not preparing any note for it. So we'll be having the heading other current liabilities for note 5, and under current liabilities, we'll be entering unclaimed dividend. You can have a look at the problem. You're given an item called as unclaimed dividend. So this unclaimed dividend will come under which note? It will come under note 5, which is other current liabilities. Unclaimed dividend 10,000. Then the next note we are going to prepare is note 6. This note 6 is for short term borrowings. Okay, so under short term borrowings, we'll be having proposed equity dividend. So proposed equity dividend is given to us in the problem. So proposed equity dividend that is given to us in the problem is how much? Just see here, it is this item. So it is 50,000. So this will come under which heading? It will come under the heading short term provisions. Okay, so usually proposed dividend will come under provisions, so it is coming under short term provisions. So with this, with note number 6, I should tell you that all notes relating to equity and liabilities have come to an end. Equity and liabilities, it has come to an end. As you all will know, in the statement form of a balance sheet, you will be having two main headings, equity and liabilities, and then fixed assets. The total of equity and we will be having the heading equity and liabilities and assets. So the total of equity and liabilities should be the same as the total of the assets. Then only you will say that the balance sheet is correct. Okay. Now let us proceed with the notes relating to assets. To begin with, we have note 7, which is for fixed assets. So under note 7 fixed assets, we'll be having two categories. What are they? One is tangible asset and the other one is intangible assets. So what do you mean by tangible assets? Tangible assets are those assets which have a tangible form, which means they have a physical form, they can be seen and touched. So such assets which have a physical form and which can be seen and touched, such assets are only called as tangible assets. In this particular problem, we have three different tangible assets, namely plant and equipment, furniture and fixture, and office equipment. So let us have a look at the problem now. So in the problem, we have all this as tangible assets, plant and equipments, furniture and fixtures, and then office equipment. So all this will come under the category tangible assets. So plant and equipment 6 lakhs, furniture and fixtures 1 lakh, office equipment 2 lakh. Put together the total is how much? 9 lakhs. And then you have another category that is intangible assets. As you all may know, intangible assets are those assets which do not have a physical form. They are non-physical in nature. Okay, you can't touch them actually. And under intangible assets, you will usually have items like patents, trademarks, copyrights, etc. And in this particular problem, we have patents given. So let us have a quick look at the problem. So intangible asset, we have one item here, that is patents. So this will come under intangible assets. So let us enter it. Patents 40,000. Okay. So now tangible and intangible assets put together, you will be getting a total of 9,40,000. Okay, so this will be the total for note 7, that is fixed assets. Then we have non-current investment as note 8. So under non-current investment, we'll be having this particular item. Let us have a look at the balance sheet. Investment in government bonds. This will come. Okay. So investment in government bonds. So how much do you have as investment in government bonds? It is 4 lakhs. This will come under non-current investment. I keep on telling you again and again, in this particular chapter, you can prepare the balance sheet properly only if you are thorough with the format. So you should know about the format, its contents, and which item will come under which heading. So memorizing the format and being thorough with the format is very, very essential. Okay. And then the next note we have is note 9, which is for inventories. So note number 9 here, this particular problem, note number 9 is for inventories. So under inventories, we'll be having items like work in progress, stock in trade, and all that. So let us see what are the items which we have in this problem. So you have work in progress. See this here. Work in progress, this will come. Then apart from work in progress, you have stock in trade, stores and spares. So all this will come under this particular note, that is note 9, inventories. So we'll be entering work in progress 1 lakh, stock in trade 2,60,000, stores and spares 40,000. Put together, it will be giving us a total of 4 lakhs. And the last note we have in this particular problem is trade receivables. This is note number 10. So what is note number 10? Trade receivables. So trade receivables is already given to us in the problem. So trade receivables, it is 20,000. So trade payables is a liability item and trade receivable is an asset item. Okay. So that also we have entered. So we have prepared all the notes. How much we entered as trade receivables? 20,000. So we have prepared all the notes relating to the balance sheet. Now our work is very, very simple. We have to take all these items to the balance sheet and we have to prepare the final balance sheet now. So let us proceed with the final balance sheet. So as you all know, you have to give the heading for the balance sheet, and whenever you give a heading for the balance sheet, what is very, very important is balance sheet is on a particular date. So you have to give the heading as balance sheet of the company's name is Rajesh Limited as on 31st March 2023. And then in the balance sheet you will have two main headings. The first one is equity and liabilities and the second heading is assets. Your balance sheet will be regarded as correct only if the total of equity and liabilities is the same as the total of assets. And if you can quickly recollect, under the heading equity and liabilities, we'll be having three items, that is shareholders funds, three headings actually: shareholders funds, non-current liabilities, and current liabilities. And under the heading assets, we'll be having two main items, that is non-current assets and current assets. Okay. So now let us start. One column is for particulars, one is for note number, and one is for amount. And whenever you write amount, never forget to mention rupees there. So that has to come. Okay. Now the first item we are having is shareholders funds. Under shareholders funds, we have share capital and reserves and surplus. Share capital and reserves and surplus, we have already prepared the notes. Let us have a look at it quickly. Share capital is how much? 10 lakhs. And reserves and surplus is how much? Reserves and surplus final amount is 50,000. So this will be taken to the main balance sheet now. Okay. Share capital 10 lakh as per note 1. Reserves and surplus 50,000 as per note 2. Then the second item is non-current liabilities. Under non-current liabilities, we have long-term borrowings. We have already prepared the note for it. So long-term borrowings, how much you are having? It is this amount. Long-term borrowings is this particular amount, 4 lakh and 50,000. So note 3, long-term borrowings, it is this amount, 4 lakh 50,000. Then current liabilities, under current liabilities trade payables will come. We've already prepared note 4, trade payables. So it is this amount, 2 lakhs. So trade payables, 2 lakhs. Then other current liabilities and short-term provisions also, note 5 and note 6 we have already prepared, 10,000, 50,000. So let us just have a look at it. Note 5, other current liabilities 10,000. Then the next one, short-term provisions 50,000. Okay, right. So with this, the items coming under equity and liabilities get over. So we have to find out the total here. The total here is nothing but the total of 1 plus 2 plus 3. It is the total of shareholders' funds, non-current liabilities and current liabilities put together. So you add all these amounts together and find out what is the total. So when you add and find out, the total will be 17 lakhs and 60,000. 17 lakhs and 60,000. So 17 lakhs and 60,000 is the total of all these amounts put together. Okay. Actually, this 2,60,000 represents the total of 456. Okay, it's the total of current liabilities. The total of equity and liability comes to 17 lakh and 60,000. Now, let us proceed with the assets. Under assets, the first main item we have is non-current asset. Under non-current asset, we have fixed asset. Fixed asset, we have tangible 9 lakhs, intangible 40,000. Okay, have a look at this. Fixed asset, tangible is 9 lakh. Okay, intangible is 40,000. Put together it constitutes 9 lakh and 40,000. So that we have entered separately as tangible and intangible. Then note 8 is for non-current investment. How much is non-current investment? Let us have a look at the note 8. Non-current investment, investment in government bonds is 4 lakhs. So that again we have entered it. Okay. Non-current investment 4 lakh. Now you have to add all this and see. So when you total all this, what is the total you are getting? Total of note 7 and note 8, 0, 0, 0, 0, 4, 13 lakhs and 40,000. Then the next heading is current assets. Under current assets, we'll be having note 9 and 10. Note 9 is for inventories and note 10 is for trade receivables. Note 9 inventories is 4 lakh. Note 10 trade receivables is 20,000. We have already prepared these two notes. So inventory is 4 lakh, right? And trade receivables is 20,000. Actually, this need not come. So inventories is 4 lakh and trade receivables is 20,000, which we have entered here. So when you find the total of 9 and 10, it comes to a total of 4 lakh 20,000. 4 lakh 20,000. Now let us find out the total of assets. Total of assets is nothing but total of 1 plus 2. So what is 1 plus 2? Total of non-current assets plus current assets. So how much is non-current asset? Non-current asset is 13 lakhs and 40,000. So how much is current asset? Current asset is 4 lakh and 20,000. So add these two amounts together, 13 lakh 40,000 plus 4 lakh 20,000. When you add these two amounts together, so you will be getting a total of 17 lakhs and 60,000. So what I told you earlier, the total of equity and liability should be the same as the total of assets. So how much did we get as a total of equity and liabilities? It is 17 lakh 60,000. And what is the total you are getting as a total of assets? That again is 17 lakh 60,000. So our answer is correct. Okay. So this is how we have to prepare the balance sheet.
Hope you are clear with the problem which I worked out today. If you want to understand this chapter thoroughly, I will suggest you to work out as many problems as you can. This will help you to become more familiar with the format. In this chapter, knowing the format thoroughly is very essential to work out the answers correctly. So, if you like this video, subscribe to my channel and share it with your friends also. Please do not forget to give your comments. This will help me to post videos according to your requirements and suggestions. Thank you very much, dear students, for watching this video.